This is a go-to mobility session for myself. I do this most days on a morning, so enjoy. So we start off in a deep squat, or the deepest squat you can feel comfortable in. Don't need to be heels on the floor, but if you can, that's what we're working towards, even if you need something to help you get there. If you're here and you're comfortable enough here, then you can go through some movements. So you can stretch out and arch your back. You can stretch up and lengthen your spine. But either way, we're just spending a little bit of time there to see how we feel on this current day. Then we move across into one leg, and I'm twisting my entire leg, my femur, in the hip socket. So if it's too uncomfortable to sit in that deep position, which is a very mobile position, then just post up onto the ball of your foot. That's fine as well. I'm going to twist through for 5 to 10 reps, and then we're going to stand up and push through each leg, really squeezing, really turning on the quad muscle. So locking out each leg and turning on the quad muscle. And then we're going to lock out those knees in this wide position and rotate towards each foot. It's about being in a nice, strong, strict position with a straight back rather than trying to get to your toes. That will come, and you'll get better and better each time. But we're really trying to find this stretch on the inner thigh. Okay, spend a couple of seconds just down at the floor, arching the back, and then unlock the knees, coming up to standing, keeping the knees unlocked. In this wide stance, we're going for 5 good mornings. So it's a hinge, really straight back, brace your core, send your hips back so that you tighten your hamstrings. Once you reach the end of your hamstrings length, squeeze your glutes to lift yourself back up to standing with your glute muscles, not your back. And then we move on to the other side. Same thing, twisting this whole leg in the socket. In whatever way feels comfortable to you. These ways that I'm showing you right now. Perfect, so then we twist around into a low lunge. And I'm just going to noodle around, I'm going to move around and just see how my hips feel, how the tension feels today. And then what I'm going to do, you can't see it too well from this side, but you will the other side, is I'm taking my knee and I'm pushing it away from my body for about 5 times with my foot flat on the floor. Okay, and then I'm dropping into that space, and I'm going to take a couple of deep breaths there to improve my breathing, my ability to breathe in a compromised position. And then I'm going to come out 45 degrees out to the side to really open up that right side of my body and create some good stretching going on there. And then I'm going to twist round to the opposite side and create space in the other side of my body, so the left hand side of my body up through my hip flexors. So I'm going to push against the outside of that right knee. And then reaching up and pushing with the hips at the same time. I'm going to create as much length as possible from that left knee to that left armpit. And then putting the hands down, I'm going to go through 5 reps of straightening the back leg and squeezing the glute muscle as hard as possible to activate, to fire up these muscles. Really important muscles posturally to carry you through your day, whatever you're doing. And then we're going to go into 3 reps, nice, slow, strong, purposeful reps of the world's greatest stretch. As you come up, really push through that supporting arm into the ground and twist round. Spend a couple of seconds there at the top, at the end of your range. And then we're going to shuffle that foot in between our hands and floss our hamstring in this way. This is a nervous system stretch, so be very careful. It might be quite tangy, You might feel a twanging kind of feeling. So start off with your toes pointing away from you, and then if you feel necessary, you can bring those toes up towards your shin and start to drop your head down towards your knee to increase the tension in this movement. And then we're just going to twist around and do everything the same on the other side. Just starting off, noodling around, feeling out how the hips feel today. I'm going to push the inside of that left knee away from me whilst keeping the foot flat on the floor. Feels like you're pushing your leg out of your hip socket. Then we're going to move into that space and breathe a couple of deep breaths. And then we're going to shift over to a 45-degree angle and create as much space in our left side as possible. And twisting round to the left, I'm going to create as much space in the right side of my body as possible, pushing with my left hand on the outside of that left knee. Opening up into that stretch and pushing in the hip flexor on the right hand side. And coming up into 5 glute squeezes. Really squeeze. Create as much tension as you can. We're trying to turn these muscles on. Pushing through that supporting arm, now the right arm, creating space between your ear and your shoulder as you push and then reach up and round as high as you can, as much range as you can. Also try and keep on the front leg, try and keep that knee nice and level. It will want to come out away from the body. Try and keep it in line. And then we shuffle the foot in between the hands and we floss the hamstrings and the sciatic nerve. We're getting a nervous stretch here, untethering nervous tension and really helping our posterior chain. 10 reps. And from here we go back into our starting position, our squats, as deep a squat as we feel comfortable, and you should feel a lot better in this stretch already. So what you can do if you are comfortable in this stretch, you'll see here my back is arched, and then if I push, I get into praying hands and I push on the inside of my knees, I can really get a straight back here, which is a very good position to get into.